Morning to you, everybody, and welcome to day 6 of our Ladies Summit. If you can hear me loud and clear, go ahead in the chat box in the comment section and type ready for day 6. Go ahead and give me some feedback and type ready for day 6. Awesome. Good. Our people on YouTube and Facebook, go ahead. Let us know that you are there. It has been incredible in the last couple of days. All right. Good morning to you all. Good morning and welcome. Good to have you here on Zoom, on YouTube, on Facebook. Good to see Stephanie on YouTube. Good to see Dimitri on YouTube and any other person joining in. This has been beautiful. Incredible feedback. I have received incredible feedbacks, appreciations of people sharing how the program was literally for them. Some of them like, this program was for me. You designed this program for me. We thank God for the impact. Who else is feeling as if this program was specially designed for your life? You know, there's a way you go through something and you see where you are. It begins to open your mind to where you can be and begins to show you, oh, you know what? This thing I have been taking so lightly, I need to stop being passive about this so that I can begin to live the fullness of life. Yes, the fullness of life. Live the fullness of your life. It's very important. It's a very important determination. It's a very important consciousness to have. I am going to live the fullness of my life. You know, one of the saddest things that will happen in heaven is that people are going to get to heaven and they will see the life God ordained for them to live on earth. They will get so angry and they will like, and I was suffering like this. Right? Type in the chat box in the comment section, I am going to live the fullness of my destiny. Don't leave anything to chance. I am going to live the fullness of my destiny. It's a very important consciousness. It's a very important goal to have. That everything God created for me in this life, I am going to live the fullness of it. I am not going to manage another. No. Don't make up your mind that, you know what, I am going to manage this part of my life, then I'm going to live the best part of my life. No, make up your mind to live the fullness of your life in all areas. I'm telling you. I am living the fullness of my life. I will squeeze all of it. I will not leave one bit, because it is the will of God for you to live the fullness of your life, not managing life. Jesus came and lived the fullness of his life. Nothing was left. He completed everything. And that should be your pattern also. All right. The room is growing up. The numbers are growing up. Some people woke up late. Did you have a busy Monday? I think since we started this summit, this is the first day that we're starting, and at this time that we don't have so many people yet. It's Tuesday, so maybe many people had a busy Monday, tiring Monday, and you are struggling to get yourself off bed. For those who are not in some parts of Europe and Africa, more than 80% of people in the community are in African countries where the time zone is GMT plus 1. So it's 4 a.m. Cameroon time, Nigeria, all of that. So it's a lot of price to pay, a lot of sacrifice to make to be here. All right, let's get to it for today. And today will be tremendous for you as you go through this. I hope you have your journals, your notebooks to take down some notes for your personal application. So far in this Ladies Institute or Summit, we have been looking at the architecture of the influential woman. And the curriculum of this program is structured into two major sections. The first part of the curriculum is focusing on the internal architecture. And then the second part is focusing on the external architecture. And that's where all the strategy, what to do in the marketplace, in the industry, and so on is concerned. And I have done some work in coaching and consulting and strategy for close to 15 years, traveled 20 plus countries doing that. And I can tell you firsthand that if you give anybody the best strategy and they have the wrong internal systems and architectures and what have you, they are going to fail to produce the best results with the strategy that you gave them. And today we'll begin to round up that internal architecture. And from tomorrow, we'll begin to start the process of looking at, okay, since we now have you the person in the right spot, what do you need to continue doing externally in order to keep on advancing that which you have been called to do in the marketplace, in your industry, in your nation, in your generation. And I keep saying that one of the major things to get right in this particular program is, after this program, again, this program is not for everybody. It is for that woman, for that young lady who knows, you know that I was sent here on earth to not only have babies and get married. Those are important. But you know that part of what you are supposed to do here on earth is to be a voice in your generation, is to bring tremendous transformation in a particular industry. It could be healthcare, it could be wellness, it could be fashion, it could be technology, it could be sports, it could be religion and spirituality. Whatever industry that God has refined you to do some work, you know that you are not supposed to be average. You are not supposed to survive. You are not supposed to just come and live life like every other person and then die out. Then this is for you. And I keep saying that if you are that woman, you are that young lady, one thing that you have to understand is understand the game of influence, understand how to consistently be a voice of influence in your generation and in the area that God has committed to you to bring that transformation. Today, we are going to spend some time to look at what I'm calling the signal of influence and leadership disqualification. So I will be talking about that particular signal that many a times you see people desiring the influence, desiring to be leaders and thought leaders, but there are some things in their lives that constantly disqualify them from manifesting the fullness of that influence, the fullness of that, industry leadership. You can also, or let me say this way, another way to look at today's topic is there is a theory I call known as the escapism theory. When we're in secondary school, people used to escape from school to go play soccer, to go play video games and all of that, right? So during announcements, the discipline master will talk about escapism, right? So that's where the idea actually came from. But I will be talking also about how escapism silently removes a person from influence. There are some things that when you do in your life as a woman who has the potential to be a voice of influence, you are practicing escapism. And when you constantly practice that, you are silently removing your ability to be a voice of influence in your generation, in your industry. We have been looking at our main text for this program has been Proverbs 31. And today we're going to focus on verse 6 and verse 7. Somebody just thinking, and he was like, I am not a Christian, but the wisdom in the Bible can literally transform somebody's life. All right. And I hope that, and that's the fact, that's what divine wisdom can do. When you sit on it and you apply it, your life cannot remain the same. So we are going to look at Proverbs chapter 31, verse 6 to 7. And like I always say, if a woman who is going to be anything in your life, if you understand Proverbs 31, you cannot but become that which God ordained you to be. It's a powerful, powerful, divine, strategic text. So the Bible says in Proverbs 31, verse 6, give strong drink to him who is perishing. Take note of that word perishing. And wine to those who are bitter of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. We started this journey from verse 1. So when you study the surrounding context of Proverbs 31 from verse 1, it shows a mother instructing a future king. That is a very important information to know. So you know that the book of Proverbs 31 was not written to any kind of person. No, it was written to someone who was designed to be in the place of influence, to be in the position of influence. Same as you listening to me, when you read Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 28, you were designed to be in the position of influence in your generation. Look, I believe that there is nobody God created to be a follower. In terms of be a survivor, just be somebody who just manage life and then you die and other people lead you. God gave everybody a destiny to be a voice. But also, due to human nature, there are some people that will never take the responsibility, pay the price. For example, it takes a lot of commitment and sacrifice for people who are waking up at 4 a.m. to be here. For people in North America, it takes a lot of commitment to stay up and go to bed at 12 a.m. or 12:30 a.m. and then leave for work at 6 a.m. So that kind of sacrifice, that kind of responsibility, not every human being is willing to pay. So that is why you will always find in every society, you will always find those who lead and those who follow. And guess what? Majority of the human race does not like discomfort. See, listen to me. If you're a woman that you like comfort, you like easy things, you like things to be, you don't like problems to come after, you don't like things like that, you don't like to pay the price and do what you have never done before, I guarantee you, you will always be a follower. You will always be a survivor. You will always live hand to mouth. You will always, that'll be your life. You will not know what it means to live the fullness of destiny. Right? So, one amazing thing about this particular text we're reading is that it was a mother instructing a future king. And the way she sounded, she was not saying, this is what a king should do. This is what a ruler should do. This is what a person of influence should do. That's not what she was saying. Rather, she was saying, this is what a king must not rely on. This is what a person of influence must not partake of. And in that Proverbs 31, verse 6, she is saying something very powerful. And she says, give strong drink to him who is perishing. Now, in the context of this Proverbs chapter 31, verse 6, strong drink is a metaphor. And in context, it talks about alcohol, of course, but also in our context, strong drink can mean different things, and we have seen that already. Now, but the way she's using strong drink here is different. Strong drink here is used as a method of escapism. Let me ask a funny question, and please be sincere. I have done it before. Who is here that you had problems one time? Or maybe people do that a lot, but let me just ask. You have had problems, and in order to escape thinking that particular problem, you are watching so many movies during that season or during that day, or you spend a lot of time on social media, or you go on your phone and you're looking for friends. Can we go out today? You're begging people to take you out or to go out with them. Anybody ever done that? Type me in the chat box. Me, it's movies. I used to do that. Right? Yes. I will line up movies and begin to watch. You are practicing escapism. You are looking for a strong drink to give yourself. You are looking for a strong drink to give yourself because you are in the stage of perishing. That's what that verse says. Give strong drink to him who is perishing. Follow me carefully. So, in this context, strong drink or wine or movies or excess social media is functioning as a symbol of escape mechanism. And she was saying something very important. She did not say a king should take strong drink. It's very important. She did not say a king should take strong drink when the king is perishing. No. She was pointing it to somebody else. In other words, if you are going to be a woman of influence, taking strong drink to escape something is not for you. It is not for kings to do that. Listen to me carefully. It's not for kings to do that. She was not saying Oh, learn well as a king when you are perishing. And I'm going to explain the meaning of perishing in that scripture. When you're perishing, take strong drink. No, that's not for kings. That's for the masses. That's for people who don't know where they're going. That's for somebody who is perishing. And that's for somebody who is about to fail in life. Like I said the other day, one of the worst things you can do to your brain, to your mind, to your consciousness is when you're in your most difficult season, you are feeding your mind on corruption. You are destroying your mind. You are destroying your perception. You are destroying your ability to operate in the right wisdom to come out of that problem. It is not for kings to use strong drink as a symbol of escapism when they are in a difficult situation. Type in the chat box, not me anymore. There's a better way to do that. There's a better way to do that. Right? And in the context of the scripture, this strong drink represents anything that temporarily dulls pain. Right? So if there is anything you take that temporarily dulls your pain, that's strong drink. Or number two, if there is anything that you take that sustains responsibility, that's strong drink. Because when you look at verse 7, it says, let him drink and forget his poverty. It did not say, let him drink and develop wisdom to know how to make money. No, let him drink and forget his poverty. That is not for kings. That is not for you. Anything you take that has the ability to suspend you from taking responsibility is a strong drink and is killing you, and you may not know about it. And when you're doing any of these things, these are signals that are going to disqualify you from being a person of influence and leadership. Another thing that strong drink will do for you or do against you is that it allows you to forget instead of confronting. Anything that you take to enable you to forget something instead of confronting that thing is a strong drink and is disqualifying you from leadership and influence. The next thing, anything that offers you relief without transformation is a strong drink. It relieves you of the trouble, of the thoughts. But when you are relieved, you come back to the same spot. Anything that can offer you relief without transformation is a strong drink. And that when you have that kind of character, it is disqualifying you from being a voice of influence and leadership. You know why? I always say the society is like this, like a pyramid. Few people are at the top. The rest are at the bottom. Those at the bottom, that's what they do. So if you are doing what they're doing, you can never lead them. You can never be a voice over their lives. That's why you cannot do these things. So strong drink in the context of Proverbs 31, verse 6 and 7 becomes whatever that you can use as, you know, when I'm creating what to teach, I like to sometimes my mind think about some things in my life. So I once went through an operation some time ago, about more than 10 years ago. And you know, there's this, I don't know what doctors use. Is it anesthesia, right? It anesthesize you so you don't feel the pain during the operation. Are there nurses here? How do you guys call it? But I think I've got the word right, right? Anesthesia, something like that, right? So strong drink in the context of this becomes whatever you use to anesthetize the weight of destiny or the weight of the problems you're going through. And that is not the right way to live as a woman of influence. And it starts from small things, as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, as a colleague. So if you're going to consistently grow to become a woman of influence and a voice in your generation, you must avoid what she was saying in Proverbs 31, verse 6. And I want to explain the context of perishing so you know why that is very dangerous to live life like that. Because speaking as a woman, like I always say, the mother of King Lemuel, there are some things that she knew about influence. Very smart woman. Very smart woman. You see, and when you read that verse 7, there's a very scary sentence, that verse 7. Let him drink and forget. Not sorrowful, forget. You're going through a problem and you're taking things, and the purpose of that things is to make you forget, is to relieve you, not to help you solve, not to bring transformation. You're in trouble. You are in trouble. It is not for you. As a woman that wants to lead others and create impact in the lives of other people, type in the chat box, it is not for me. See, if there is one thing I want to challenge all of you to pick up from this program, is that there are some things that you must come to agreement with yourself. It is not for me anymore. It's one of the things that helped me some years ago. There are some things that I always write clearly. It is not for me. It is not for me. Others may do it. It may be culturally acceptable. Even your siblings may be doing it. Your closest friends may be doing it. Learn to tell yourself there are some things that it is not for me anymore, because of where you're going to and who you want to become. Let him drink and forget his poverty. Very scary statement. Not let him drink and learn how to make money. Let him drink and forget his poverty. When forgetfulness is over, you come back to your poverty life. You see, so the phrase forget his poverty is not the solution to the problem. At best, it can delay the problem. And that's not for you. You're not supposed to be doing things to help you delay the problem. No. Because when the problem is delayed, in this case, poverty, when the problem is delayed, poverty remains, misery remains. But you cannot live your life like that as a woman of influence, where you keep delaying things in your life. After 10 years, after 20 years, there are so many delays, and you always go back to the same spot you have been. In the last 10 years, in the last 5 years, in the last 15 years, you are going through a problem. You go and drink, you go and watch movies, you go and consume corruption. You have done that for years. How far have you gone in life? So that is why earlier in this chapter, this mother was warning King Lemuel that, look, it is not for you to drink, because a king who drinks, a person of influence who drinks, will forget how to judge rightly, and that is lack of sound judgment. Will forget how to lead clearly. There are many people that you are called to be a voice in your industry, a voice in your nation, a voice in your generation. But because of some things you have consumed for years, you no longer have the mental capacity to perceive and to lead clearly. You no longer know how to develop the strategy to execute your life faithfully and produce results. because you constantly consume strong drink that makes you to forget. It's not for you. And there is a particular type of person that this woman was saying that they should give strong drink to. She said, give strong drink to him who is perishing. Who is that? Who is this person perishing? Who falls in this category of a perishing man? I decided to do some research to look at what does that mean from the, because English sometimes reduces meaning of words. So I started doing my Hebrew research to understand who is that person perishing there? Who is the man perishing? What does that mean? Give strong drink to him or to her who is perishing is talking about somebody who is lost. It's talking about somebody who is in a state of ruin. So I was reading an article, and a Hebrew scholar said it is also talking about someone who is already in a trajectory of collapse. You know, there are some people that you met them, the way that currently living their life, the decisions they make, their priorities, what they do, they are already in the trajectory of collapse. If they stay on that path, they're going to fail in life. That is the example, that is the meaning of give strong drink to him who is perishing. You know those kinds of people in the community where they have no job, they have no career, they do nothing, they wake up in the morning, they do two major things. They drink, they smoke, and they have that's their life. That is an example of somebody who is already in a trajectory of collapse. For some people here, these are people that they have no vision for their life, no vision for their career, no vision for business, no vision. There is nothing they are aiming at. They are being, they are barely existing. They are barely surviving. As I was studying the meaning of give strong drink to him who is perishing, I also saw that it means a person who is forfeiting responsibility. It means you're perishing. That's scary. For example, I have met ladies and I've met also guys who, because their relationship ended badly, they took it on a different level, and all they're doing is crying and complaining. I don't know what to do anymore. Let's say they're in school or they're doing that or they're doing this. They stop doing this because their relationship failed. You are a good example of a perishing man, and they should give you strong drink. Right? Because perishing there means a person who forfeits responsibility. And you see, you cannot be a woman of influence and you constantly forfeit responsibility. You constantly allow things to happen to you in this life and you forfeit responsibility. It's very important. So, in other words, what that mother was saying in Proverbs 31, verse 6 is that give strong drink to him or her who is on the wrong path of life. They are making the wrong decisions, the wrong priorities, and they are failing. Give them strong drink. Let them fail very well. Or you see people in the society that they fulfill responsibility. They have no career vision, no career mission, no vision, no dream, nothing. They are not taking responsibility for their lives. They are too lazy. They are not studying. They are not building capacity. All they're doing is watching movies, consuming social media, gossiping with friends. That's all they do. And maybe they have a small job somewhere. They go to that job, they come back, they gossip social media, movies. That's their life every day. job, social media, movies, sleep. Job, social media, movie, they sleep. That's all. You are a perishing person. You are a good example of a perishing person. And in your case, nobody needs to give you strong drink because you are already consuming strong drink, which is excessive social media and excessive entertainment and what have you. And there is nothing big you're looking towards. You have a small job. Your highest qualification is advanced level or high school or HND. You have no plan. You know what? In 2 years, let me start my first degree. In 3 years, let me start my master's degree. In 2 years, let me start a PhD program. In 4 years, I'm going to go to this country and do a professional program. No, nothing like that. You have totally forfeit responsibility. You are the person in that scripture, which means you are perishing. And I hope that there is repentance happening right now. You make up your mind to change your trajectory of your life because it is in your hands. God is waiting for you to take responsibility, and then he comes and partner with you and change the situation. As I was studying him in depth, I also got to learn that word perish in that Proverbs 31 verse 6 also means someone who has ceased to function as a responsible agent of change within their immediate community. Let me say it again. That word perish there in the context of this scripture means someone who has ceased to function as a responsible agent of change or impact in their immediate context. For example, this is ladies' summit, right? Let's say you're married and your husband does something wrong, and he did something wrong, right? But you decide that you will no longer do your responsibilities as a wife because he did something wrong. You are also perishing because you have stopped functioning as a responsible agent of change within your context. If it's the same if you're a worker, anything that you stop doing, that is the meaning of perishing in the context of that particular scripture. You see that? And as I was studying a material, a Jewish rabbi said something profound. He said, wine is withheld from those whose decisions shape the future and given only to those who no longer carry tomorrow on their shoulders. And I knew this already, but people don't know this a lot. Many a times when you watch big events where you see, let's say, presidents, ministers, senators, and they're toasting glasses and they're drinking something like wine, many a times the masses think that they're drinking the same wine that they drink. Who thinks like that? Who thinks that those at the top drink the same wine that everybody drinks? Who thinks like that? But people don't know that very influential people, they don't drink the beer that people in the lower class. And for example, let's say you begin to drink beer and your man is like, oh, you know what? People at the top also drink beer. Who told you? Who told you? What they're drinking is wine, yes, but the substance in that wine is not the same substance that the beer on the streets that you see has. I'm telling you, it's not the same. It is not the same, and it has never been the same. Because scientifically, Leadership-wise, they know that if they're going to keep on functioning at that particular level, they must withhold themselves from certain drinks. So if you're one of those who always think that, oh, I always see billionaires, they drink cocktails, they do this, they do that. Who told you that they're drinking the same beer that those in the poverty class they drink? Who told you? It's not the same. It's not the same. Wine is withheld from those whose decisions shape the future and given only to those who no longer carry tomorrow on their shoulders. And again, remember the context of wine here and strong drink means anything that can give you relief temporarily, and then you come back to your problems, basically. There's a multimillionaire I know in the United States that his kids, is a law in his home. His kids, until the clock, I think is 14 or 15, they don't watch movies that our normal kids watch. They don't play games that our kids watch. No, it is totally different. They don't have social media at all. And people don't know this. See, there are many things that kids in the lower class and middle class consume that kids at the top never consume until they clock 15 or 16. You know what they're doing? They know that if their kids can stay away from strong drink, if their kids can stay away from consuming corruption and junk, they're going to keep having sharp minds and they will continue to lead and to rule over the poor people and the masses. Let me tell you, those who are parents, this, if you want your kids to do what they've never done before, you have to pay the price and raise them in a way that is beyond the immediate surrounding that you live. You can live in a particular community, but there's a way you raise your kids. Their brain will never be like they were raised in that community. If you create the right boundaries, educate them, there's going to be a shift. It takes a lot, but if you want to give them a better future, you see, one of the best things that happened to me was that years ago, I flipped the switch of consuming, of what I consume. It is one of the best things that happened to me. So you could see me in the same community with other young guys where we grew up. But I was not consuming the same thing that they were consuming. At the beginning, it was difficult. But when I stayed consistent on it, it changed everything. So look at yourself. Are you the king who is drinking strong wine, strong drink, to forget and losing your potential influence and thought leadership? Or are you the one who is taking responsibility to rise? I want us to do what I'm calling character analysis of the perishing person. Character analysis of somebody who is perishing. The aim is to challenge you and I to make sure that we don't have any of these characters. Or if you do, you start taking responsibility and alter your life. There is a character, there is a set of habits that if they're in your life, you are a perishing person that is going in the wrong path of life. Same as there are some character traits that if they're in your life, give yourself time, you will end up being a very powerful voice in your generation. The secret is consistency and doing what matters in that path of life. So remember, Proverbs 31 verse 6 says, give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. And guess what? People who are perishing are always bitter of heart. Why? Because they get jealous. They start feeling as if, why is it always him? Why is it always her? Meanwhile, you don't know the price he or she is paying behind the scenes to record the results or to live the life they're living. But because you are perishing, you begin to manifest the character of those who are perishing, which is jealousy, envy. You begin to feel as if God is more fair to them than to you. Meanwhile, the difference is that they are aligning themselves with divine principles. Meanwhile, you are misaligned regarding divine principles. So you drink and you forget your poverty. The other person goes and builds capacity in the midst of pain and hurt and difficulty. And in 2 years, in 3 years, they start building wealth. You now begin to wonder, why is it being blessed and I'm suffering? No. When you are going through pain, you are drinking a strong drink to forget that pain. While she was going through pain, she decided to pay the price and say, no, I will not consume more junk and corruption to destroy my brain. I will begin to consume, I'll begin to do something that will enable me to refine my capacity even though I am in pain. See, this is a very important decision to make, because I guarantee you, your flesh and your body is designed to look for easy way out when you're going through pain. That's why you're designed to be as a human being. When you're going through discomfort, oh, your body, sleep, movie, social media, go out, drink, all of those things. That's the first default thinking you're going to have. But because of this revelation, when some things begin to go wrong, maybe as somebody, you are listening to me right now, you're going through a very difficult season, a challenging, painful, difficult season. If you're going to come out of that season with a testimony, don't give yourself to strong drink. It will be difficult, I tell you, because I've been there many times. It will be difficult to be in a season of pain, challenges, different things going wrong, chaos going wrong, and you want to discipline your mind to sit and read a book. You want to discipline your mind, and instead of watching a movie, you are listening to a teaching on YouTube that is refining who you're becoming. It's challenging, but stay. If you stay on it and you stay consistent, your system is going to adjust and know that, okay, when challenge comes, we're doing development. We're not taking strong drink. You see this particular shift. There are many of you here that if you do only this one shift, your next 2 years will be one of your best years of your life. But you need to submit yourself through that particular process. So quickly, character analysis of a perishing person. The point is, look at yourself. If any of this is in your life right now, your assignment is make a U-turn. You are on the wrong trajectory of life. Make a U-turn. Number one, the first character trait. You have lost future-oriented agency. You have lost future-oriented agency. In simple, basic language, you no longer act intentionally with the future in mind. You no longer act intentionally with the future in mind. I always say this, listen to me. This does not exclude those who are below this age bracket, but I always say that if you're 30 years and above, it is very dangerous for you to be living life and there are no clear things that you're going to achieve by 40 and by 50. When you're 30 years and above, you have a very short window to make some things right, because you're about to enter the age group where, or the age bracket where your strength is reducing. And if you're not careful, you can go through life challenges between the age of 25 and maybe that 30 or 35. And those life challenges can hit you so hard. You're not careful, you give up on life. It will not look like it. But one sign that you have started giving up on life is that you have lost future-oriented agency mindset. You are no longer acting consciously, intentionally with the future in mind. You are at the age of 31, 32, 33. There is nothing you're doing right now, and you know that this thing will bless me when I'm 40 years. Listen to me. If you are 30 years plus, and there are no clear things right now you're doing, and the impact of that thing is not tomorrow blessings, tomorrow benefits, no. There are some things you'll be doing right now that you know that if you stay consistent on this thing you're doing, it will change your life when you clock 40. It will change your life when you clock 50. You need to change that. Life can be so challenging. There are some things that when they come at you, if you're not careful, you're going to lose future-oriented agency. If you can relate, type and relate. You become a perishing person while you're living. Life can humble you, but I challenge you. There is something God has given you that you need to rise up to it. So be careful. If you're living, if you're listening to me and some things have happened to you and you have lost that future-oriented agency, you you are not consciously, agency, not urgency, agency, as in a travel agency, agency. Future-oriented agency. Agency is being proactive, future-oriented. You make independent decisions on all of that, right? So be careful. There are some people that maybe you are listening to me. The way you're living your life right now, your choices no longer shape what comes next in your life. It's a very dangerous spot to be. You're a perishing person according to Proverbs 31 verse 6. Your current choices no longer shape what comes next in your life. You are just existing. But you dress well, you smile well, but internally, you're perishing. You're no longer making strong decisions that can meaningfully, listen to me carefully, meaningfully influence your tomorrow. Please leave that. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. It's not for you. That is the character of a perishing person. Stop doing that. And I tell you, I can relate that life can hit you hard. You can make some mistakes. Situations can happen. But if you allow the enemy to use that situation and bring you into a place where you are no longer making decisions that can meaningfully influence your tomorrow, you are signing up for a life of suffering at your old age. But that will not be you. There are many people that they have forfeited the capacity to plan. They have forfeited the capacity to build. Not you. Not you. You are not the one perishing, not you. Number two, what is the second character trait you will find in the life of a perishing person? The person that mother was saying, give that person strong drink, right? Give that person beer. You know, for us Cameroonians, I was telling one of my friends one time, and I said, it was years ago in Douala, and some guys were driving. I didn't know them, but I knew the guy. So They were driving somewhere, going to drink, and they invited him, come join us to go and drink. And I turned and I looked at him and I said, if people who call you friends are comfortable enough to invite you to go and drink, so you're in bad company. I pity you. If people who call you friends can comfortably invite you to go and drink, you're in a very bad company. And I pity your future. Right? There are some people around you that the only thing they can give you is strong drink. Because they know that you and them, you guys are on the path of perishing. The second character trait, if you're in the path of perishing, you no longer influence others responsibly. You no longer influence others responsibly, especially if you used to do that. There are some people that life happened to them. They used to create impact. They used to advise people. They used to counsel young girls. They used to do this. They used to do some work in church. But some things hit them. Life came at them. Then they stopped influencing others responsibly. That is the character trait of a perishing person. You have successfully allowed the enemy to cause you to start perishing. Your actions no longer provide a reliable impact for other people because of what happened to you. And if you're not careful, you have very strong reasons to be doing that, which is true. You are actually hurt. Life literally happened to you in a bad way. But you see, when life happened to you, it doesn't mean that you should allow what happened to you to dictate your next tomorrow. You are signing up for perishing and for suffering for a very long period of time. And this is the kind of person that, before you know it, people who used to say, listen to you and agree with your advice, they no longer take direction from you. Can you relate? That's what happens. Because you are no longer responsible. So others are no longer taking direction from you. You are now lacking that moral credibility to lead, to direct other people. You have not become the person who is just observing. You're just observing things, not active contribution. And when you begin to observe life, guess what? Others begin to observe you, and nobody will try to imitate you or learn from you. That's the danger. When you resign from being active and taking responsibility, you just begin to observe life. You don't do anything anymore. You're just existing. Guess what? Nobody will allow you to influence them too. They too will be observing you, and nobody will imitate you. They will look for other women that are inspiring them and imitate them. And if you're not careful, you develop bitterness. Nobody likes me anymore. Nobody does this to me anymore. Why should they like you? Why should they respect you? Why should they, honor you? Human beings are designed to go where there is inspiration. And if you no longer influence other people responsibly because of what happened to you, as time goes by, majority of them who should celebrate you, honor you, like you, they are going to go to the different person who is doing all of that. So check yourself. Have you resigned from responsibly influencing other people? Young girls used to come to you for counsel, but life hit you so hard. You allowed life to determine your next move in life. So instead of you happening to life, life is now happening to you. You are on the path of perishing. And that number two relates to number three, the third character trait of somebody who is perishing. You are governed by circumstances instead of sound judgment. You are governed by circumstances instead of sound judgment. You're on the path of somebody who is perishing. You are now driven by what happens to you. You are no longer making deliberate choices to have the best life ever. You're just living like that. Let me tell you something. If you don't have deliberate choices and steps you're going to take tomorrow, this week, next week, this month, next month, this year, next year, life will happen to you. You must consistently have deliberate choices that you are making, deliberate steps that you are taking. That is sign that you are not perishing. That is sign that you are not governed by circumstances. Pressure easily decides how you smile, how you laugh, how you communicate. You no longer use sound judgment or discernment. You are governed by circumstances. External forces easily determine how you live, how happy you are, how joyful you are. You no longer have internal restraint. You make up your mind, I know this is going wrong, but I choose to be happy. I choose to focus on what matters. You see, so if you are governed by circumstances, what people say make you happy or make you sad. What they don't say, what they do, what they don't, and any little external thing determines your behavior, your character, your facial expression, your projects, what you focus on. You are governed by circumstances, not sound judgment, not discernment, not your convictions, not your destiny. You are the example of a perishing person, and that is not you. Number four, what is the fourth character trait of somebody who is perishing? You are present within the bigger society, but you are not intentionally shaping that society. You are present within a bigger society, but you are not shaping that society. I'm talking about you're a professional in an industry. You live in a community, you live in a town, you live in a country. Then as far as you are concerned, your life is go to work, get my salary, eat, dress well, and sleep. That's all your life. Beyond you, there is nothing that you're doing that is impacting the community you live in, the nation you live in, or the industry where you're working, or the generation you're part of. Nothing exists like that for you. So you're present within that society, but there is nothing you're doing either directly or indirectly that is shaping that society. Your path is not right. So you're living life in a way that even though the country is not a person that speaks, but you're living life in a way that your country is expecting nothing from you. Your country is not expecting any ideas from you, no solutions from you, no wisdom from you. Your industry is not expecting any industry insight, knowledge insight, data, research, no contribution from you. And you see people like that, they don't make money from the society because the society is designed to only give money to those who are shaping it. As simple as that. Your industry is only designed to give money to those who are shaping it. You see, and when you begin to live life like that, no one is going to entrust you with decisions that affect other people. And that's lack of influence. If you work in a company, you live in any community, and you have been there for years, and nobody is entrusting you with decisions that can affect other people, you need to check what you're doing. And this is not because you are evil. No, this is because you have demonstrated the character that you are not a shaper, you are not a contributor. For some people, you have demonstrated the character of repeated failure. You are no longer reliable. Nobody can rely on you anymore. You see, so you exist within the community, but you don't exist for the community. Two different things. There are many people, they exist within the country, but they are not existing for the country. Sign that you are existing within the country and you're also existing for the country is what you are bringing to the country. And those are the kind of, see, any country, any economy is designed to only favor producers, contributors, and shapers. So people who only exist within the country are not for the country. That's why they don't make the most amount of money. You see, so if you're a lady listening to me and you desire to be a voice of influence, you must begin to challenge yourself to change your actions. Let your actions begin to shape outcomes in your society. Let your actions begin to set a direction for other people that look up to you. Or let your actions begin to establish order in your industry or in your society if you want to be a voice of influence. Stop being the kind of person that people are just managing. It's very sad. There are some people that some of your close friends only keep you around because you guys have been long-time friends. We have a friend like that. There's a friend we have that we don't know how to, just ignore him because we have known him for long. may that not be you. There are some of you, may that not be you. People only accept you around because they don't know how to send you away. They don't want to look bad. They're only managing you. They're pitying you. You're among your friends. None of your friends can consult you for something. They cannot run to you for counsel and consultation. None of your friends can rely upon you. You are present within that small community, but you are not shaping it. Check yourself. If that's your type, not anymore. Not anymore. It's very important. Because if you're praying for influence, open doors, breakthrough, this and that, and some things are not part of you, like I always say, there are many people that feel as if God is not faithful and God does not answer prayer. And I always say, look, if I sit down with you, we may bring up many things in your life, and you may discover that the witch you are praying against, you are the witch against your own life. There are men especially our Pentecostal brothers and charismatic brothers. They can pray fire. Any witch fighting my open door, die. Right? They will pray against witches and wizards, demons, and all of that. I always ask that you have done those kind of prayers for 10 years, for 15 years. Your life is still the same. Do you think that God needs 10 years to stop a witch in your life? What kind of powerless God is that? Your own God is different, no, not the God I know. Your own God is different. Because my God does not need one day, to take off a witch and a wizard. He doesn't need one day. One pronunciation with authority and power. One. In the Bible, Jesus said, go. One word, go. And legions of demons left. Go, one word, go. Not two, one. So I was asking a church brother, you have prayed this fire prayer this for years and all of that. My brother, God does not need 2 days to deal with witches and wizards fighting you. You need to stop this prayer and check your life. There are many people, the way you live your life, even your closest friends, even your siblings, they're managing you, they're pitying you, they cannot rely upon you, they cannot consult you. So you're present within that nucleus, but you are not shaping it. There is somebody listening to me. This is the major shift you need to make, and your life will open up and begin to blossom. Open up and begin to blossom. You have lived for long, perishing, and you are constantly taking in strong drink. Proverbs 31, verse 6, give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. I always say this, check anybody who has hatred, bitterness against people. Check that person. That person is not busy. That person is not busy. I am telling you, there's a way you are busy with life, focus on destiny. There are some things that they will do against you and you will not react at all. Even the person who did it will be afraid. I said, which kind of human being is this? Because they expected a particular reaction, but it did not make, because you are so focused on where you're going and what you're building, that what they did means nothing to you. All right? So avoid strong drink. Avoid giving yourself strong drink. You are using your own hands and enforcing the path of perishing over your life. Like I said the other day, strong drink in our context is not just alcohol. It means endless, for some people, is endless entertainment. For some people, movies have become strong drink. It helps some people to forget the dissatisfaction in their lives. There are some people that when they look at their life, they're so disappointed, they're so dissatisfied, and the only way to make them forget that dissatisfaction is to watch movies. Instead of taking responsibility and saying, no, this life must change. For some people, it is social media validation. For some people, strong drink to them is substance dependence. You know, marijuana, any hard drug they can see. They're heavily dependent. They depend a lot on that substance. For some people, it's romantic and sexual escapism. There are some people they think that they are sexually active is because their life is not making meaning, that the only way they can escape from that kind of life is the only way they feel that they, especially some men, the only way they feel that they are man enough is how long they can have sex. For some ladies is, how long they can, influence the man to fall for them. Right? There are many people that their relationship they are in right now, they are not in love. It doesn't matter to them, but they just want to be there. So they're using relationships to escape the kind of life that they have been having instead of advancing their calling. For some people, sexual immorality has become anesthesia. Right? That's not good. Wake up to the real life and change that. For my Christian brothers and sisters, there's something I call spiritual noise. What's spiritual noise? Spiritual noise is people who practice spiritual noise are people who, these are people that
They attend every meeting, every event they are there. Every prophecy, they want prophecy after prophecy. Any new man of God in town, they are there. Any program, they are there. So constant sermons, constant prophecies, constant new men of God, constant this and constant that, but their life has zero execution, zero obedience. That's spiritual noise. Many Christians, their own strong drink is spiritual noise. They know all the latest men of God on YouTube. They know all the latest programs, all the new men of God coming to town in their city. They know all of them. You have done that for 10 years. All the prophecy you have received. Some men of God are forced to lie to you because of their desperation. Spiritual noise without obedience. Spiritual noise without execution. Spiritual consumption has replaced spiritual responsibility. If you are that kind of a Christian, repent from that lifestyle. That's not what God ordained for you. You consume anything consumable. You want to receive prophecies every service. The one you received, you have not stewarded, you have not nurtured it to manifestation. So what makes you feel good is a latest sermon. What did the previous sermon do to you? For some people, it's conferences, personal development conferences and summits, one after another. In short, you are a prostitute in terms of conferences. Because when you go to a conference, it makes you feel as if you have achieved something. Meanwhile, in real sense, you have achieved nothing. I always say there are some of you listening to me. This should be a last conference you attend. You have attended, even when I organize a next event, don't attend. Go and focus on execution. Go and focus on execution because you have been everywhere and nothing to show for. Sometimes you get angry at yourself. I'm telling you now, if you see my own event, some of you don't attend. Go and focus on execution. Go and do what matters. For some of you, I'm telling you, your own strong drink is spiritual events, religious events, personal development conferences. How was it? Fire. It was fire. 2 days after, what have you done with the fire? Nothing. Nothing in your life. How was the summit? How was the speaker? Oh my goodness. The revelation was crazy. The wisdom, incredible. 1 week after, your lifestyle the same, habits the same, routine the same, lifestyle the same. You go back to watching movies the same way, social media the same way, gossiping the same way, everything the same. The moment you see a new event, bam, you are there. You're there. That's your own strong drink. Many of you, that's where you need to repent. You need to repent from massive consumption to responsibility. Massive consumption to daily practice of what you have acquired for years. That is your responsibility. So as we round up, strong drink is whatever you use to forget what God has been asking you to do. Strong drink is whatever you use to prevent you from taking responsibility. This is a major signal of influence and leadership disqualification. It disqualifies you from being a person of influence, from being a voice in your generation. As I was talking, many of you are seeing this particular signal in key areas of your life. You need to go and make a change. Anything that helps you to forget your poverty, forget problems, forget certain situations without empowering you to rise and change that situation is a strong drink. And like I always say, God does not anoint escapism. God does not anoint people who are constantly in the trajectory of perishing without repenting to take responsibility. God only empowers responsibility. If David focuses on complaining against Goliath, like King Saul and the soldiers were doing, they were complaining against Goliath. Nobody took the responsibility to face Goliath. The moment David took the responsibility, God empowered him and he succeeded. Listen to me. God does not anoint, God does not empower escapism, irresponsibility. You can fast, you can pray, you can do all you want to do. If you don't take responsibility, there are certain dimensions of divine empowerment you will never experience in your life. So, check your life carefully. What are you using in your life to escape responsibility when God is calling you to rise? That will change your life forever. I believe that you were blessed and you were challenged. The main focus for today was to show you things that you must do to make sure that you are not using your own hand to disqualify yourself from the path of influence and leadership. If you take the responsibility, you can rise up to it and change something for good. From tomorrow, if you notice the way today went, I am phasing out gradually from the internal structure. And from tomorrow, we keep on going like that. Then we'll start handling the external strategies to be very influential in your generation. All right. And I hope that you don't just listen to these things and you remain the same. Let transformation begin to take place on a daily basis. Let your routine begin to change. Let your lifestyle begin to change. Let your habits begin to change. After 3 months, let a spouse, let your son, let their daughter, let your colleagues, let somebody just know, hey, my sister, what happened? You are no longer like us, right? You're no longer going to our normal joint. No, life change. Life change. Life change. Very soon you see me on TV. You see me catching flight because I am on a different path of destiny. All right. All right, people. God bless you all. See you tomorrow, same time for day 7.